And I'm going to show you how to go out and about and actually create a Moonshell package. Okay? You have to extract everything to a common folder. There it is. And here's the setup. Now we want English language. Hit OK. Okay. And it's going to ask, where do we want to save everything to? Now, unfortunately, I have to save it to my C drive because I don't have my SD card in, but okay. Now, configuration files. Alright, we're just going to do the simple configuration files. We want the plugins, the default skins. Do you want to make resume music functionable? Do you want bookmarks? Okay, let's add those in. Okay, there's a whole bunch of readmes that you can probably hardly read because it's all in Japanese. What clock plugin do you want? So you can actually choose a different skin and hit preview, and it will show you a preview of what kind of clock plugin you want. I kind of like the Blue Moons. They're kind of elegant. You can create your own. Also wants to know what kind of character set you're using for your game, for your Nintendo DS. Now, here's built-in DLDI support. Now, I don't have most of these cards. I have the M3 SD card, so that's the only one I'm going to leave in right now. Okay, and then all you got to do is hit setup, and there you go. Now, once you get back to your, it should have spit out to the C drive, so let's go to my computer, go to my C drive, and there's my Moonshell M3 SD card for the M3 adapter. There's Moonshell. So there you go. Moonshell is really easy to build. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but once you get it built, come on, you can't do without Moonshell. That is the end all, the application of applications. If you're gonna put anything on your Nintendo DS, it's got to be Moonshell. The next thing on the list I want to showcase is the Nintendo DS Wi-Fi scanner. It's actually part of a demo Wi-Fi library test. And there it is. We can choose war driving, do a remote keyboard, remote packet capture, connect to access points, or show what kind of information the DS has, MAC address. What I really like is the packet capture. I mean, it's not the kind of packet capture you would expect from packet injection or anything like that. It'll actually show the actual data going across the entire Wi-Fi spectrum itself. It's very handy, very, very useful. You can also exit and go into the war driving section, which it'll actually report all of the signal strengths and access points within the area. Now, the Nintendo DS Lite has a really shit antenna, but the standard Nintendo DS, the original, has one hell of an antenna. It's a very impressive device, and what's really cool about this is right now I can pull out my card, both my pass card and my M3 card, and then and this will run from RAM. It's small enough to run from RAM, so I can load this up on another card, on another DS. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a laptop or a PDA, you can still use your Nintendo DS to be a Wi-Fi scanner. So shit, if you're not technically inclined and you want to have a fun day of Techno Terror with the guys or some of the gals, there you go. Wi-Fi scanner in your pocket. The next chunk of homebrew I want to actually show that's actually quite useful is Air Replay for Nintendo DS. That is right, the packet injection tool used for cracking web has been made available for the Nintendo DS. Now, it's still in beta and it's still buggy. However, it does seem to slightly work from time to time. It really is very assy about things. It does need a lot of work, and they're still working on it, but definitely something very interesting that a lot of laptops nowadays can't do packet injection, and a lot of computers can't do packet injection, so if you can actually use Air Replay and ARP Replay attacks to do deauthentication attacks for cracking web, not that we condone cracking, but still nonetheless, very useful application. The only time I would actually condone any kind of game piracy is in this case, where some of the applications I'm going to show you require Wi-Fi, and the only way to actually set up Wi-Fi is to have a Wi-Fi enabled game, or what we call a Nintendo WFC game, or a Wi-Fi connected game. I feel it's kind of craptastic to have to go out there and pay 40-50 bucks for a Wi-Fi connected game that you're never going to play just to configure your settings. So if that's the case, go out and get yourself a bootleg copy of a game. I'll run you through the settings real quick. Go to your Nintendo Wi-Fi setup, and you go up to any one. Let's go to this one. It's not set up, and you can either search for an AOSS compatible, which is like the Nintendo Wi-Fi stick. You can go through a manual setup if you know everything about the access point, or you could do the search for access point. Okay, and this showed me a couple of access points, and we can go on to this, and it'll ask for the web key. You put in your web key. Now, some of the homebrew is kind of assy, and you have to enter your IP address, your DNS, your subnet mask, and your gateway manually. Some of them can automatically detect it, and some of them doesn't even use the WFC settings whatsoever. So if you have a Wi-Fi based application and it's not working, go into your WFC settings. First, try to have everything auto-discover, then specify everything by itself, and then probably read the README file, because you most likely didn't do that and you're doing something horribly wrong. But once you have your Wi-Fi connected, here's a couple of useful applications you can use afterwards. DS AIM, or DS America Online Instant Messenger, is just that. It's an instant messenger for America Online Instant Messenger client for the Nintendo DS. Works pretty well. I really don't have any problems with it. I think the controls are a little clunky, but it works pretty well. Just got to go in and set up your WFC settings, and you can hop on pretty much any access point that you have the settings for, and you can do instant messenger from it. There's also an IRC client, which I'll show you in a moment, and there's also Yahoo and MSN Instant Messenger. Now, I'm not going to log in and showcase this because I don't want you guys harassing me or all my buddies, so going to go on to the next one. This is called DSIP. I guess I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but what it does is it's a session initialization protocol client, which is used for voice over IP. So this will turn your Nintendo DS into a soft phone. Unfortunately, you have to configure it using the config file line by line. It's still in beta, but shows a lot of promise that you can use your Nintendo DS as a voice over IP soft phone over Wi-Fi. I think that's very interesting. DS Organize is a PDA application it's pretty nifty, although the front end and the graphics are kind of crappy. You got your address book, you have a day planner, you have a calendar, you have a to-do list, you have a scribble pad where you can just scribble wherever you want, but not really going to go into it. And it's also got an IRC client, and it's got a whole bunch of fun stuff in it. The front end's really crappy, but nonetheless, it's an organizer and a PDA. It'll keep all your contacts. It even has an IRC client and a file browser already built in, so you can actually go and browse around all your files and whatnot. So, give it a shot. You might like it. Here we have IRC DS. It's still in beta, but nonetheless, this has to be one of the more used homebrew applications that I use, and it's just that it is actually an IRC client for the Nintendo DS. Okay, we'll put in a nickname. Come on. This is being very assy. Okay, you know what? I'm having a hard time using this stylus because I'm giving my camera a reach around right now. But nonetheless, it works, and it works really well. You just have to make sure that your router settings are set up in your Nintendo wireless configuration. Here we have DS Live Weather. It's just a weather application. It'll actually log on to the internet, go online, and get your local weather forecast. You really, no thrills, no frills. Again, this is another one of those applications that you're going to need to make sure you have your Wi-Fi connections programmed into your Nintendo DS if you're using a Wi-Fi connected game. And there you go. It's weather on your Nintendo DS. Yippee freaking skippy. For all of you hardcore Neo-Japan anime freak bags out there that have absolutely nothing better to do with your time but to wank off to, fantasy anime fanfic porn, there's Hentai DS, which nonetheless I couldn't even consider a demo at this point, but You know, if you're one of these neo-Japanese ravars, or whatever the fuck they're called, and you just have to go and beat out some knuckle children in public bathrooms because you've got nothing better to do at a restaurant than stare at